What a wonderful way to start the day. Beautiful music, beautiful company. Let's continue with beautiful prayer. Father, Mother God, we acknowledge your presence moving in and through us this day. We take this moment to be open, to be receptive, to be responsive, to be obedient to your instruction and guidance. And we take that which we are into our world in the name, in the nature, and in the power of the Christ. Amen. Let us stand.
And I've selected something today from Keys to the Kingdom, which is a little pamphlet that was put out about 20 years ago. And I want to start with a poem. Well, it's not really a poem. Here it is. This is called God's Will for Us, and it's by James Dillett Freeman. Unity is a positive thinking, practical Christianity. It may be presented in psychological as well as religious terms. The key to life is consciousness. Our false beliefs about our true nature keep us from realizing our Christ potential. As we change negative feelings and reactions to positive attitudes and actions, thought by thought, word by word, and act by act, we grow toward the divine perfection that is God's will for us. We believe that the best way to do this is through meditation and prayer. We teach an affirmative way of prayer. The purpose of prayer is not to change God. How would we change perfect good? Our prayer is to change us so that we may come to realize that we are made in God's image. The other reading is by a Unity minister that was very famous, Sig Paulson. And Sig has this to say: "What's right with you?" There are some approaches to life that almost make a religion of finding out what's wrong with humanity and our world. We could all probably make quite a list of what's wrong with us, or perhaps we already have such a list provided for us by our experiences, religious, educational, and social training, and our own knuckling down to negative suggestions. However, I'm asking you to do me a favor, and not only me, but you and yourself as well, your world as well, by making a list of what's right with you. This activity, entered into by you and others who read this, will do more than we can know to wipe the sense of wrongness out of human consciousness. The process is very simple. Just take a sheet of paper and write on it as a heading, "Here is what's right with me." And then without embarrassment, reservation, or hesitation, start writing. Well, here are a few suggestions that are taken from the book of John, but there are many all through the Bible. I am the image of God. I am the light of the world. The kingdom of God is within me. The mystery that has been hidden for generations, but which is now being revealed, is Christ in me, my hope of glory. There are other gems of thought scattered throughout the Bible, but these should be enough to help get you on the "here is what's right with me" side of the ledger of life. And here are a few more ideas which might flow from what we're doing together. You may wish to think on these ideas, and then, if you're moved, work them into your pattern of life. I am a self-expression of the infinite. I have a mind that can think new, creative, adventuresome thoughts. I have a heart that can feel the love of God and share it with my world. I have a tongue that can speak strong, powerful, creative words of truth. I have a body. I have a body that is the temple of the living God, and that responds to creative thinking, constructive feelings, and words of truth. I live in a vibrant universe that responds to me, my attitudes, and my actions. Okay, with those ideas in mind, try making a list for yourself, and by the time you have finished, you will realize God didn't do such a bad job of creation after all. You are the handiwork of the infinite Creator. And as you expand this list of what's right with you, you may well be amazed to discover that you are becoming a new creature. This discovery may be so startling, you may yield to the temptation to make a similar list for another human being. Or perhaps a family member, a friend, or even an enemy. Why not start on another list for someone in your life? Just take a sheet of paper and head it, here's what's right with you. What is right and true of you is also true of your neighbor. Even if you don't share the list outwardly, and perhaps you shouldn't, your inner realization just might work a miracle in someone else's life.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
Today's lesson is inner peace. Peace soothes my soul as I rest in the assurance of God's love. Waking in the early morning hours when all in my home is still, I listen to the quiet and feel the peaceful presence of God within me. In these sacred moments, I understand that I can reconnect with this inner peace at any time throughout the day. Enfolded in the assurance of God's love, I reach out to the world with thoughts of peace. I see each man, woman, and child comforted by God's loving presence. I pray in faith, believing that peace, happiness, and well-being are inherent in every life. God's presence soothes and sustains me and each one I hold in prayer. Wherever we are connected in spirit. We have an inner calm that strengthens our souls and comforts those around us. My people will abide in the peaceful habitation, in secure dwellings, and in quiet resting places. From Isaiah 32:18. Thank you.
My people will abide in peaceful habitation, and they do so when they connect with the truth of their being. And it begins with, I am. Knowing this truth of us, I move to that place in consciousness. And Jesus called our secret place, our inner chamber. It is that place in consciousness where there is no doubt of the truth of you. It is that place in consciousness where you set aside all the concerns of the day, things to be done, things which have been done. this holy moment, I listen. And regardless of what may be going on in your world, in this moment, you hear, "This is my beloved, in whom I am well pleased." This knowing of oneness, this awareness of oneness, I allow myself to accept that which I need. For it is mine to claim in this moment. And as I claim it, whatever it may be for you, I allow it to move in and through me. I allow each cell of my being to be immersed by it and with it. And am I uplifted up? I am renewed. And I allow this wondrous feeling to move through me. And as I send it forth, this thought of mine, it joins with other thoughts of like mind and moves in and through our community, in and through our world, in and through the universe. And as it moves, it grows in strength and power. And I am grateful. And I know that as I am the channel through which this wondrous feeling flows, somewhere, somewhen, someone says, "Thank you, thank you, thank you, for in this holy moment, this is exactly what I needed. This thought that you have sent, and I am grateful." And in the gratitude is power and peace and strength, and it returns to you. And the circle is complete. And with each breath I take, I allow this feeling to continue to grow. For this is the truth of me. For in this moment, I'm expressing the truth of me. And holding this thought with the hands of love, gently, easily, and effortlessly, I bring my attention back to this now, to this when, to this room. And from a place of renewal, I pray as Jesus, my elder brother, has taught us in this manner.
Now is my time to be
That worked. I can sit down now. Lesson's done. Almost. On the back of your program today, you have something that I grew up with, and if it's not familiar to you, let me humbly suggest that you should make it familiar to you. And that's the prayer of faith. And the key for today comes in the second part of it. I now am wise, I now am true. The song, I now am true. True to what? Lots of answers, huh? True to what? I now am true. Where does the truth lie for you? Where does the truth live for you? Where's that place in you that you put the truth of you? And I say place in you on purpose. On purpose. Because a lot of times we think great and wonderful thoughts and it lives out there. But that's not where I live. I don't live out there. I live here. Expressing God as me right here. Where does that truth live? In you. When you say, for you, the Father and I are one, where does that thought live? Is it still here in your head? Or is it in your heart? Charles Fillmore said it was right behind his heart. And I keep looking to see if I can see it. But for him, it was a physical place. Not only in consciousness, but in this body temple. A physical place. It reminded him that I choose what to express. Physically. Not only in my spiritual living, but in my physical world as well. And that I need to be aware of that. Because otherwise, I get easily fall into the trap of God out here will take care of this. And so, I don't need to think about it anymore. Because I let go and let God. Which is a good statement, by the way. I'm not saying it isn't. But what happens is we get caught up in it. And we think that sometimes, that if I will just ignore something, it will go away. And it does sometimes. And we think, oh, that worked so well, I'm going to do it again. And then, ow, man, that hurt. Because it came back to get me again. Because you see, I haven't dealt with the issue, whatever challenge I was dealing with. The same old thought pattern was there. I had a challenge with it. So I need to be true to who I am and the truth of me. I need to build anew. I had fun with this one because I saw it and I went, oh man, I need to think about this for a little bit. If you're going to build a new you, okay, going to build a new you, are you going to use the same building blocks you have right now? Same lumber, same bricks, same plumbing. Or are you going to build with something new? Now you can build an interesting building with old stuff. We've seen it. One just burnt down in Phoenix the other day. But if I am to build anew, if I am to be true to the truth of me, if I am to renew that which I am, then I need to do it with new thought, new building blocks, new materials. I need to think about that which is working well for me and move forward with that. I now am wise. I now am true. And then Rob's tough one. Patient. Kind and loving too. Should underline that one and put it in bold print. Right? So I'm learning how to be true. See, because if you're just making words and just talking, it's wonderful stuff, but what are you walking? What are you walking? Are you really, 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 really aware of what's going on in your world? You know, I tell stories all the time about one of the things that I love about living in Shady Cove is all the critters that come and visit. And I talk about the deer and the antelope and the buffalo roam. Oh, wait a minute, that's a different episode. We talk about the critters, yeah? And I form big pictures. I do it on purpose because I want you to feel that awareness. But let me share with you the one that I had this morning. We have morning glories. And a bee about that big flew into the morning glory and was in there busy. And then flew out and went to another one and got busy. And then flew on his way, or her way as the case may be. Too far away for me to check. But you see, your world is shaped not only of big things, but of little ones as well. And you need to be aware of all of it. And the first thing I thought of when I was thinking about whether I was going to use this story or not is a mental image I had one time about somebody sniffing a morning glory, and the bee went, I went, no, I don't think I want to use that one. But if you're aware, you knew the bee was in there, I'll wait till you leave. Because the bee is just being a bee about bee business. Right? Collecting and pollinating and doing all the stuff that bees do. Was not trying to be a bird. Was not trying to be a deer or a fox or anything. It was just being a bee. Because that's what bees be. Who are you choosing to be? Who are you trying to emulate? Who do you think you need to be in your world? And what does that look like for you? See, if you're trying to do something for somebody else, if you're trying to express somebody else's thinking about who and what you should be all about, you're not being true to you. And you need to be true to you. You need to take the time to be true to you. You need to take the time to acknowledge who you are. It's what Ann read this morning. What's right with me today? What's right with me? What good things are going on in my world? And right now, you and I collectively need to spend some time on that. Because it would very easily be for you and I to fall into what's going on out here as real. The sky is falling. The sky is falling. Right? Let's live in a fear place. And I, an ego says somewhere, will take care of you. I, an ego says, have the answer. And in that moment, if you fall into that trap, you are no longer being true. For the truth of you does not come from there. That is not your source. Your source is here. Your source is I am. Your source is I live the truth of me. The source is I form my reality through thought held in mind. That is the truth of me. And in that thought, I am being true. Now, does that mean that I'm not aware of what's going on out here? Of course not. Of course not. But of the two, what's going on out here and what's going on in here, where do you think I ought to spend the most amount of my time? I'll give you a hint. It ain't out there. Bring it inside. Bring it inside. Right? Live in love. Live in the truth of you. Think about the truth of you. Is there any way in the truth of you that you could live in a world of lack and limitation? No, not in the truth of you. Is there any way in the truth of you that you cannot live in peace and in harmony? Not in the truth of you. Can I choose to be other than that? Oh, sure. Can I choose, instead of making my list of what's right with me, let's make it what's wrong with me? Oh, sure. And when I do, what am I building? And what am I building with? I'm building with my old materials. I'm trying to build a new house and use rusted concrete or rusted pipes, and it just doesn't work. We were at a friend's house, and I have to laugh. Everybody does things differently, speaking of how parts don't work. Okay? Our friend has what she calls a 3-flush toilet. It's an old building. It's an old building. And so you flush once to make sure, and don't add too much more, and then flush again, because it's an old building. And sometimes our ideas on how we need to get rid of them are like that 3-flush toilet. You need to flush a little bit and let it go. You need to flush a little bit more, let it go. Or you could do what Rob had in his head the whole way since I heard that one. And a plumber costs how much? Could I build it with a new pipe? Yeah. Do you think maybe I ought to try that? Or is this okay with you? 3 flushes. So you get to choose. And if that's okay with you, if the old things, if you're comfortable in that, okay, be comfortable in it. Be comfortable in it. But if somewhere there is a thought that says, yeah, but that's not quite right. It's okay, and I'm used to it, but it's not quite right. Then I need to get back in touch. Who is my source? How do I live in it? How do I express it? For not only my good, but the good of my world. What will you choose this day? Will you choose love and peace and harmony and order and abundance and prosperity? Or will you choose the sky is falling? May I humbly suggest, live in the truth of you. It's a much greater place to be. For then you will see the bee, as busy as it is, and the deer, and all of God's children, that's you and I, working to raise our consciousness, to live the truth of who we are. 2,000 years, and we're still working on it. I came that you might have life and have it abundantly. Throughout his ministry, Jesus practiced, I am true. To the truth of me, I express the truth of me, and here it is. And 2,000 years later, we're still trying to interpret it, mess with it, try and get it right. And it's so simple. From this prayer, as you think about your prayers and you ponder your prayers, let the light come on in you. You are an expression of God as you right now. And in this moment, I am now true. Fun stuff? Can be. Difficult stuff? Oh, raise your hand. And the more you work at it, the more you will know that the challenges you face, those that come up and you think, oh Lord, if I never have to face this one again, it'll be too soon. You will have the strength and the power to realize that it was a flash, an image that is not the truth of you. And that when you step through it, you go, why did I wait so long? No more 3 flushes. One time and it's out of the way. One time and I move forward. One time I'm ready to go. God is my source, my help. And I am His beloved child right now, in this moment. Breathe. We form our reality based on thought held in mind. Hold this thought. I am life. Together. I am life. Again. I am life. Once more. I am life. Because you have said it, it is true. Now, live it. Namaste.
Thank you for listening. Please feel free to pass this message along to your friends and family. You can obtain additional audio tapes or CDs by visiting our website or by calling our office at 541-772-6902. We invite you to join us in prayer. We know that prayer works, and now you can send your prayer request to our prayer team here at Christ Unity Church by using the form on our website. The activities, programs, and services of this ministry are presented on a love offering basis. All gifts, regardless of size, are gratefully accepted. You may participate either by sending your gift to Christ Unity Church, 540 North Holly Street, Medford, Oregon, 97501, or by visiting us on the internet at www.unitymedford.org.